Yes, people, how are we all doing? I hope we're all doing really well. Welcome back to Process, a podcast with myself, Brendan Pearson. So this is going to be the final episode in this makeshift office. Got the camera out, we're going to stick it on YouTube. So if you're listening on iTunes or Spotify and you want to actually watch this podcast and see my face for whatever reason, hop over to YouTube and it'll be on there as well. The link will probably be in the bio to my YouTube, in the show notes down below to my YouTube. So hop on there. But if you're watching on YouTube, welcome. So today I wanted to recap something that I have covered before, but recently I've had a lot of questions about, maybe I've got a few new followers on Instagram, people are messaging me about my morning routine and why I'm such a big believer in it. And it's something that I do really want to push for people, especially if they are struggling with routine, because routine is something that will help you not just with life, with business, with your career, with fitness, with health, everything. It'll help you with so much, and changing your mindset is one of the big things that a morning routine does. It sets you up really well for the day. So, morning routine. Why would you want to do it? Obviously, I mentioned a few points there about it. It does set you up nicely for the day, but how does it do that? So, what do we do most? Let's just take a general person when they wake up in the morning. What do they maybe do? We'll take the really bad example. So, they get up, they maybe snooze their alarm 2 or 3 times, laying in bed, kind of rolling over, trying to get as much sleep as possible. Maybe they set their alarm a little bit too late, so they'll probably get up maybe 8, 9 o'clock in the day, and they kind of only got like 10 minutes to get ready to go to work. So it's very rush. You're starting your day off negatively. So that instant first thing that you do, if you snooze your alarm, that's a loss straight away. So you'll probably see that I talk about wins and losses a lot, which is why the morning routine is kind of such a big thing in terms of getting those wins early in the day. So you'll probably, if you're the type of person who snoozes your alarm, that's a loss straight away, a mental loss. Your brain is winning over your body. So your mind, and as humans, our minds are designed to find the most comfortable position or the most comfortable place to be in as possible. And obviously being in bed nice and warm, especially when it's in the winter and it's like -5 outside and maybe your heating isn't on, it's easy to stay in bed and stay in your warm quilt with your PJs on or whatever it is. It's so easy to stay there. So trying to change your mind and trying to get these wins and do these things that you don't want to do early in the morning will set you up massively for the day. So there we go. Example, snoozing your alarm, you're laying around in bed, you don't get up until 10 minutes before you need to get up to work. You get up, you kind of lazy around, you take your time getting up, it takes you 10, 15 minutes to get ready, you're slow. You maybe grab a slice of toast, nothing, no proper nutrition, just eating straight away. You go straight for that cup of coffee just to wake you up straight away, and you're starting your day in a negative mindset, a negative state. So the morning routine, I challenge everybody to create some form of routine that they do. I'll talk through my personal routine as an example. However, I know a lot of successful people whose morning routine isn't as regimented and as strict as mine. They just kind of do stuff without even thinking. But I suffered from, I would say, mental health troubles. I was in a rut. I was kind of lost in my life. So this is something that I slowly started to implement over years and years, and it's got me to the point where I know I'm a lot more productive now, in a better mental health state, and it's helped me kind of slowly build my business up, start the podcast, YouTube, all that stuff. So first thing, what do I do when I first get up? So I like to set my alarm firstly nice and early. I'm a big believer in getting up early, kind of get a head start in the day. However, I'm also a believer in that people can still get up later in the day and still get shit done just as much as I might do, or somebody else who's really successful. So if you, because you're maybe self-employed, or you can kind of afford to get up later in the day, as long as you get your shit done in the day, it doesn't really matter what time you get up. However, I like that mental battle of getting up before everybody else, because it's something that not a lot of people do. Get up really early, get up at like 5:30, 5 o'clock. I like the fact that it's still dark. I like the fact that nobody else in the house is maybe up, and you can kind of have that time to yourself. I'm a big believer in having time to yourself in the morning. I like to have at least an hour, whether it be, which I'll touch on in a second, go for a walk, listen to a podcast, exercise, whatever it is. So getting up nice and early, it's also another mental challenge. It's something that a lot of people don't want to do. It's tough getting up early. Like, as long as you're getting obviously a sufficient night's sleep, getting them 8 hours in, which again, I'm a big believer in sleep. I've done podcasts on sleep previously. I'll probably link them up here before if I put them on YouTube. So Sleep's very important. Make sure you're getting your 8 hours. There's no point getting up at 5 o'clock in the morning if you went to bed at 12 o'clock at night time. Like 5 hours sleep isn't going to be sufficient. So make sure you're going to bed early enough, getting up nice and early. From there, alarm wise, just get up straight away. Good hack that I sometimes do, don't always do it, but sometimes do, is put my phone at the other end of the room. So I'll set my alarm nice and loud, so it's going to wake me up. Set my alarm nice and loud, it'll wake me up, and I've got to get out of bed and rush to turn it off. And I'm one of them people who, when the alarm comes off, I literally just jump out of bed. I don't know if it's kind of something that I've taught myself to do, but I just jump out of bed straight away. And doing that rather than lazing around, putting the quilt over your head, oh, do I have to do this? Change your mindset straight away, you get shit done. This will transfer over into other things in your life. So if you're kind of procrastinating, thinking about, all right, I need to go and do this run, I need to go and do this bit of coursework, whatever it is, rather than just go for it straight away, just going for it. It's going to take longer, you're going to be procrastinating, you're going to be thinking about it, but if you change your mindset and just get stuff done, like I said, that will transfer over. So jump out of bed as quick as you can. Obviously turn my alarm off. Secondly, hydrate. Big believer in obviously hydrating. You've been asleep for whatever 8 hours, you haven't drank any water, unless you've woke up and you really need a drink. You haven't drank for 8 hours, so try and get a good glass of water. I try and get 500 millilitres of water within like the first 30 minutes to an hour, especially if I'm training first thing in the morning. So get some hydration in. From there, obviously do your bits and bobs. If you need to go to the toilet, go to the toilet. Most people do. Then from there, I like to get a cold shower. Now this is something that I implemented probably last lockdown, like the first lockdown that we had. And honestly, I can't stress it enough, especially if you're someone who gets up early and kind of struggle. Even if you're not a morning person, trust me, this will get you up and wake you up. And also, again, it goes back to them wins, doing things that you don't want to do in the morning, changing your mindset from that stereotypical kind of comfortable, staying in your comfort zone, to something that is a lot tougher. So, cold shower. Now, I've been listening to a few things on Wim Hof. Wim Hof, if you don't know, he's called the Iceman. He is kind of, I wouldn't say the inventor of cold showers, but he's got a method which kind of implements cold exposure therapy, cold showers, like cold ice baths, all that sort of stuff. So if you haven't already, check him out. I need to read his book, but I've been listening to a few podcasts that he's been on. So he recommends to kind of, I think you start off with a hot shower and then have a cold blast at the end to kind of wake you up. So personally, I just think people just need to do it. Too many people worry about what's the best way to do something. Like in terms of anything, like what's the best way to set up a podcast? What's the best way to start a business? Just start it. Like, so I'm the same sort of mindset with my cold shower. So literally, I get into the shower. I don't turn it on yet. Make sure I've set the temperature all the way to cold, freezing beforehand. Get underneath it, shut the shower door behind me, literally underneath the shower, and just blast it on before I even have to think. Same sort of thing with me getting out of bed. Before I have to think, straight away, just turn that shower on, get it in. You've got no time to think. Sometimes a little countdown might help. So if you're someone who really is struggling to actually turn it on because you know it's going to hurt, because it does hurt to start with a little bit, it gets easier. So if you're constantly thinking, oh, it's going to hurt, it's going to hurt, it's going to hurt, just count in your head, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then just do it, because that countdown builds up intensity in your body. You'll probably find it like the same thing with getting up out of bed. If you struggle to get up out of bed, count down in your head, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and you'll feel kind of some sort of anxiety or some sort of like intenseness kind of increasing as you say that. And then when it goes 1, you just do it. So I just turn it on, let it go on my head first, kind of splash my head. If you leave it on your head for too long and the water's freezing, you probably will get brain freeze. So kind of wash my face, splash it around for a little bit, and then just get it around my back, around my shoulders. Turn around, try and make sure I get my whole body kind of covered quite early, and then it kind of eases off. So I don't do my cold showers for too long. I'll probably do maybe 1 minute, 2 minutes max. Sometimes I go a little bit longer, but it's just to wake me up. It's just to get me going. In terms of Wim Hof's method, in terms of some of the things I've heard about, in terms of why he does it, again, dive into it if you want to. The story behind it, of him originally doing it, I think was to do with his wife passing away, and he literally just wanted an escape and wanted a moment to switch off. So he went into a freezing cold lake. I think he was like bollock naked or something. Went into a freezing cold lake, and literally just sat there, immersed his full body, and he just found that there was just this peace. And when you're in this state of so cold, you kind of switch off in your thoughts. You don't really think when you're in the cold shower. That's something I've noticed as well. You're kind of so concentrated on how your body's feeling. You're very switched on to your own feelings rather than actual thinking. So it's a good little way of switching off. I like doing ice baths as well for recovery and stuff. You feel so much better for them. So it's a good little thing to switch off and have that little bit of time to yourself, because trust me, you don't really think about anything but you're cold. Just to go back to the point about cold showers, this is just a funny thing that I've noticed as well. So one of the big benefits, there's loads of benefits to cold showers in terms of energy, in terms of your skin, in terms of your immune system. So it actually can help change your cells and change not only your mindset, but change how your body actually works. So in terms of the immune system, something that I've found which has been quite interesting. So I've been implementing cold showers for the last 6 months. My girlfriend, the last 2 weeks has been run down, cold, snotty nose, sneezing. She had to take some days off work, and obviously I'm around my girlfriend all the time. We literally sleep together. Obviously I'm still giving her a kiss and stuff like that. So like it's impossible for me not to be in contact with this bug or whatever it is. It's not COVID or anything like that, but I've had no symptoms whatsoever. My energy's been absolutely fine. Now, I'm not saying that cold showers is the reason. I'm not saying that there is another reason, like the cold or whatever it is that she's got wrong with it isn't contagious or whatever it is, but I'm absolutely fine. So the cold showers massively help your immune system. I've been doing these consistently for, I don't know, 8 months or something like that. When was the last lockdown? Pretty much a year, 10 months maybe. So that's just something to think about as well. If you're someone whose immune system isn't great, maybe consider these cold showers. So back to the cold showers in terms of actually getting yourself to do it. So again, I've listened to a few podcasts with Wim Hof, and he talks about being able to change your mindset in terms of not thinking that it's cold. So if you're going into the cold shower and you're in the water and you're literally saying it out loud, like, fuck me, this is cold, this is cold, this is cold, I'm freezing. You're putting your mental state in that zone that, like, you know, your body knows that you're cold. There was an interesting thing that I listened to, a podcast. I think his name is Tim. Hang on, I'll get it up. Tim Bilyeu. I don't know if I've butchered his name or not, but I've been listening to a few of his podcasts. Again, very good. Shout out to Max Roberts from Maximum Fitness for recommending that one to me as well. So he was talking about, he had a guy on a podcast, and they were talking about, again, your mental state, changing your mental state, and people being so negative, which actually like brings yourself down. So for example, if you've got a bad back and you're constantly, I've got a bad back, and your posture's down, you're going to make yourself feel even worse. But if you flip that mindset again and be like, you know what, my back's fine, absolutely fine. It could be, I've got a bad knee. No, it's absolutely fine. My knee's fine. Like, trying to walk around with good posture and be positive, you might actually find that pain disappears, or you recover a lot faster from it. So back to the cold showers in the example I was going to say. So there was an example on this podcast about a guy, he somehow got himself locked in a fridge. I don't know how, I can't remember the story behind it, but he got himself locked in a fridge. And the story goes, he was in the box or in the fridge. It shut on him. Obviously, you can't push it out. You're kind of locked in. And he found a penny in the fridge, and he was kind of writing away at the side of the walls, saying like, "I'm so cold. I'm so cold. I'm gonna die. These are gonna be my last hours," sort of thing. And he ends up passing away. So when the police come, or whoever it is opens up the fridge, they actually find that the freezer itself was broken, so it wasn't actually freezing cold. He just tricked his own mind into thinking that this freezer was freezing cold and that he was shivering. So your mind is so powerful. It can change your mental state, it can change your physical emotions, how you are feeling. If you get into that negative mindset, like you are, like in the cold shower sense, that you're freezing cold, then change it. And I've been doing this probably the last few weeks, just when I'm in the cold shower and just thinking, just literally imagining that I'm in like a sauna or a hot shower, and I'm thinking, this is actually quite warm, this is alright, this is easy. Trust me, as stupid and as hippie as it sounds, it helps so much. So just changing your mindset, which again is one of the reasons behind the morning routine, changing that mindset, positive thinking, get up, don't even think about it, get that cold shower, turn it on, just get it done. And trust me, once you do them first few things, everything else in your day is going to be so much easier. So moving on after the cold showers. I forgot to mention as well, sorry, just to go back to the point. So in terms of the negative and positive thinking, I heard something as well the other day on a podcast saying something out loud, say you want to be a millionaire, for example. If you want to be a millionaire, a lot of people want to be millionaires, I think everyone does. You want to be a millionaire. If you say that out loud, that is 4 times stronger than you just thinking it. So constantly saying, I'm going to be a millionaire. I'm going to be a millionaire. And say it like you mean it is 4 times stronger than just thinking it in your head. So it'll bring me on to the next point. And then also saying something negative is 10 times worse than saying something positive. So if you imagine saying something negative out loud, like, I've got a bad back, oh, I hate my job, oh, this is shit. That's like, you just think that's 4 times, 10 times worse than just thinking something. Like, just put that into perspective. So if you're surrounding yourself, again, I'm probably going on a tangent, surround yourself with people who are constantly negative, that's going to pass on to you, and you're going to be negative, saying, I hate my job, I hate this, I hate that. You're going to completely just drop your mental state, and your energy is just going to drop massively. So be conscious of that, be conscious of what you're saying, how you're saying it, and what you are doing. So going on to the next thing that I do, my gratitude journal. I'm big on daily gratitude, something that I implemented a few years ago, about 3 years ago, when I was going through some struggles with life, not really knowing where I was at, what to do. And it was something that I started. So I listened to a podcast called Modern Wisdom. Again, I've mentioned it a lot of times. The owner of the podcast, Chris Williamson, talks about this 6-minute diary. So the 6-minute diary is something you do 3 minutes in the morning, 3 minutes at night time. And the good thing about this diary, it kind of beforehand, there's like 30 or 40 pages or whatever it is, I can't remember, but it walks you through the reasons behind how the diary works, like doing the morning routine, doing the evening routine. So in the morning, I can't remember exactly what the morning routine was, but it was definitely 3 things that you're grateful for. Maybe something positive for the day, and something that you've got to, like, a task you need to complete for the day. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments down below, but that was the morning routine. And then the evening routine was just reflecting on the day, something you could have improved on, and something that you're going to try and implement tomorrow. I think that's what it was. So that was something that I started. I completed that full diary. So I think it's 6 months worth of doing the morning and the evening. I was trying to be consistent. I missed a few days here and there, but I was probably saying like 95% consistent. From there, the thing that I took most from that was the morning routine. The evening routine was kind of a task for me, and I found that I wanted to just switch off in the evening and reflect on it in my own head. So I stuck with the morning routine. I just bought a black book off Amazon, and every single day since, I've wrote the day at the top. I write, I am grateful for, and then I write 3 things that I'm grateful for. It could just be, I'm grateful for the weather today is nice, I'm grateful for my family, I'm grateful for the clothes that I wear. Or it could be a little bit more detailed, that like, I'm grateful for, I don't know, you had a nice call off your grandparents or something the night before. I'm grateful for my best friend being successful with their business. I'm grateful for whatever it is. Write down what it is, and trust me, like, little things like that, being grateful for things and having that positive mindset and being happy will help you so much. You might wake up feeling a bit rubbish, but have a think to yourself, right? But what am I grateful for? And it might just, them 3 things might change your mindset and put you in a positive state. And then at the end, I used to sometimes write down a few things that I need to complete for the day. However, recently I've been putting positive affirmations. So all that is something positive to boost you up for the day. Or maybe if you're not feeling great, just be like, you know what, today I'm not feeling great, but I'm gonna give my fucking everything, and I'm gonna be positive. So writing that down, again, it's got that sort of that impact of, rather than just thinking it, having it on paper, maybe even saying it out loud. Again, it's 4 times stronger to say something out loud than it is just to think it. Saying that thing out loud, writing it down, visualizing it and seeing it will change things. So at the minute, a lot of things that I've been putting is like, just keep fucking going. You're on the right path. You're doing the right things. Just keep it going. Sometimes I write the same thing for days consecutively, just to kind of get that in my head. And trust me, like, it will change your mindset, and you will start to believe that you are doing the right things. And if you are doing the right things, good stuff will happen. It might happen in a year, it might happen in 6 months, it might happen in 5 years, but trust me, do that. Something that I've implemented, it's massively helped me. I know there's a lot of successful people who do similar sort of things. Not to say I'm successful by any means, but I feel like I'm on the right path to things, and it will help you so much. So again, I started it when I was struggling, and I've kind of implemented it and continued doing it for 2 or 3 years, and it's helped me grow as a person, get connected with my own thoughts, my own mind. Again, it sounds really hippie and stuff, but mindfulness is so good. So there's loads of podcasts I've listened to. If anybody wants to drop me a message on Instagram or drop me a follow, I try and share as many podcasts as what I listen to on my story. Just drop me a message and I can recommend a few for you as well. I reply to all my messages. Just follow me beforehand so you come with my requests. Anyway, After the gratitude journal, I'm a big believer in getting moving. Now, some people don't have, maybe need to shoot off the work, or they start work really early. They might not have a lot of time. So I'm a big believer in not eating first thing in the morning as well. So I try not to eat probably minimally within the first hour and a half. I even fast sometimes till 12, 1 o'clock. Just helps me be a lot more productive. One, I'm not thinking about food. Two, I don't have to cook any food or make any food. And three, sometimes having a decent sized breakfast kind of fogs my brain a little bit, makes me a little bit tired. The studies to say that having high carbohydrates in the morning can actually kind of mess with your cognitive functions and stuff. But anyway, I tend not to have something first thing in the morning. You can look into benefits of fasting and stuff if you want to. I'll not dive into it too much, but I don't eat first thing. So I either go for a walk. I'm a big believer in trying to get as many steps in as possible, keep that expenditure high, especially if you want to burn a little bit of fat, be in a calorie deficit. Increasing your expenditure, trying to aim for them 10,000, 15,000 steps is a great tool to help with that. So go for a walk, get yourself moving. Great opportunity to stick a podcast in, stick an audiobook in, listen to something on YouTube, whatever it is. Use it as a time to be with yourself, listen to something, or even don't listen to anything at all. Some of the best ideas that I've had in terms of business, in terms of this podcast, as an example, was when I went for a walk. I just finished the workout this morning, stuck a podcast in. After 5 minutes, was like, you know what, my brain's thinking of some good stuff here. Turn the podcast off, get my notes out, and just type away. So getting out, go for a walk, doing some mobility, which is something I'm again a big believer in mobility for longevity, for feeling good, for reducing injury, and also helping with exercises in terms of strength, in terms of actually getting into set range of motions. Doing something like that. Or during lockdown, I've been fortunate enough, I've got a decent gym set up downstairs. Working out. Can't stress the importance of working out and doing it first thing in the morning, doing something that will get your heart rate going. It just sets you up so nice for the day, and the endorphin release after a really tough workout. So I've been doing a lot of conditioning stuff, a lot of AMRAP, so just setting a time limit, picking 3 or 4 exercises and just hammering out as many rounds as I can for like 10, 15 minutes. Stuff like that will just set you up so much, and it's also another mental challenge for yourself. Something that you don't want to do, something that you maybe dread, but once you do it, the feeling of accomplishment and the feeling that you've achieved something is amazing. And trust me, that will just build so much momentum for your whole day, set you up so well. If you complete a really tough workout in the morning, the rest of the day is a piece of piss. Like it'll just continue. Trust me. Even if you don't enjoy exercise, like I said, maybe go for a walk. That can be a starting point, and then build from there. Maybe just set the timer for 20 minutes. Do a quick little warm up, 5 minutes, quick routine. I've put a few videos on YouTube and on my Instagram of warm up routines. Nice and simple, 5 minutes. And then just set the timer for 20 minutes. Pick 3 or 4 exercises. Pick bodyweight squats, push-ups, burpees. Everyone hates burpees, but I quite enjoy them. Burpees. I don't know if you've got a dumbbell, like a single arm row or a thruster or something like that. Pick 3 or 4 exercises and just do them consecutively for 20 minutes. That's a good workout. And then if you get time, do your mobility, your recovery and stuff afterwards. If you want to go into more detail and do a strength workout and stuff, perfect. But just get yourself moving in the morning, start the day out. Like, trust me, the endorphin release, like I mentioned before, the energy levels. I feel more energetic after a workout than I do beforehand. It just gives you such a boost. Even if you're getting up early in the morning, like I was up at 5:30 this morning, I'd done my upper body strength workout and then a conditioning workout with my clients. Like after that, I just felt so good, which is giving me the energy to do this podcast. This was something that wasn't planned, by the way. This podcast was not planned at all. Finished my workout, started listening to a podcast. I was like, you know what? Like, I want to talk about this morning routine. And there's been a few people messaging me on Instagram asking about it. And you know, I just want to get it out there. So I was writing my notes. I've came in, got the camera set up, and just went at it. So things will happen. As crazy as it sounds, like I'm a planned person in a sense, but not massively planned. I like to kind of have an end destination, but the process along the way, that could deviate kind of anywhere. But anyway, that's kind of my morning routine. Obviously, if I've trained in the morning, I'll have some breakfast, kind of half an hour afterwards. I normally try and let my heart rate settle down for half an hour after a workout, just to give my time to switch from what we call the sympathetic nervous system, which is a state of fight or flight. So obviously when your heart rate's pounding, when you're exercising, you're in this fight or flight state, and you want to switch over to this rest and digest, this parasympathetic nervous system. So when that heart rate's down to resting, you're nice and calm, you're recovering, that's when you want to eat. So give yourself some time. If you want to push your fast a little bit longer and your goal's fat loss and you're not too bothered about building muscle and stuff, push your fast a little bit longer. You can wait probably up to maybe 90 minutes after a workout to eat. Again, if you don't exercise in the morning, just get some steps, leave your breakfast until even lunchtime, maybe have a black coffee just to give you a little bit of energy. But that is my morning routine. The main reason behind it is literally just changing your mindset and getting out of that comfort zone, starting your day off with something uncomfortable, something that maybe you don't enjoy, something you know that's a mental challenge. Get them little wins in the morning and the rest of the day will just fly by. Your productivity will be so much better. I'm very productive in the morning, so I try and hammer as much as I can out, like I'm doing a podcast now. I've got to edit a YouTube video and stuff now, and then later on in the evening, when I'm maybe not as productive, I'll do something a little bit, I don't know, easier in a sense. Like I've got to write an Instagram post, I've got to plan some notes for a podcast on Sunday. Little things like that aren't as taxing. Get your stuff out early in the day. All your main tasks that you need to complete for the day. If you've got one big project that needs to be done, do it in the morning, because all your mental energy, you're going to have more energy in the morning. Spend 2 hours on that project, hammer it down. Once you start to get a little bit tired, take a break and then go back and focus on other things. Get that main bulk, that main focus, whatever it is, done first thing in the morning. Like I said, when you've done your workout, when you've done your cold shower, when your energy's high and your endorphins are high because you've done something difficult, now put your energy into something that you need to get done. So that is pretty much everything covered in terms of the morning routine. Like I said, take control of your mind. Don't let your mind win over your body. You are in control of your life. You are in control of what happens. If you start off the day negatively, there's so many people who are in that negative mindset, kind of saying, oh, my back hurts, I don't like my job, all this sort of stuff. Trust me, just as sooner you can change your mindset, the sooner things will happen. It'll start off, you'll start feeling better. It'll transfer to your career, will start getting better. Your body will start getting better. You'll start eating better foods, and then you'll end up passing this on to other people. What's the word that I'm thinking of? You know what I mean. You're going to end up transferring all your positive energy and passing it on to other people. You're going to attract more positive people, and the people around you. If I say people one more time, that's horrendous. But the people that are around you, they're gonna enjoy it. You're gonna build them up, and the more positive that you are, the better. So that'll do. I've rambled on for half an hour. I hope I haven't bored you too much, but trust me, try and implement some morning routine. Obviously, at the minute of recording this podcast, we are starting our first 14-day routine reset. 14 days, there is 4 non-negotiable things you need to do in the morning, 4 to complete throughout the day, which is like steps, a workout, no alcohol, and make sure you get 2 litres of water. And then an evening routine, switching your phone off an hour before your bed, getting in bed at 8 hours before you need to get up, planning your next day, all that sort of stuff. And then morning routine, I've obviously mentioned a lot of the things there. So if you want to get involved, it's something that I'm probably going to keep going down the line. Don't know when this podcast is going to be out, but down the line I might make an actual program and keep it going, because 14 days of being consistent and sticking to a routine and staying accountable will massively change your lifestyles, your mindset, and everything. So yeah, keep it going. I know if this podcast comes out in lockdown, just keep things going. Use it as a time to be as productive as possible, make the most of it, and use it as a chance to implement a really good routine when you maybe have a bit more spare time. So as always, if you get a chance to share the podcast on I don't know, Facebook, Instagram, whatever it is, share it with a friend. That would mean the world to me. Any shares are massively appreciated. Tag myself at Brendan Pearson Fitness. The link for my Instagram and everything is down below in the show notes or in the comments. But yeah, appreciate it a lot. Thank you very much for listening. If you listen to this full episode, this has been Process.
I've been waiting all day to get to you.